Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Saturday evening, and I hope everyone's had a great day. I've had a busy day myself. Sorry, I'm just now getting to this. So, this is the review for chapter 10. This is Christendom. So we are going to be looking at the differences between most of this, pretty much all of this chapter is about the differences between East and West Christendom. So on the East, you're going to have what is the Byzantine Empire, which is the Eastern Orthodox Church. And the West, you're going to have the predominantly, especially for this time period, the Catholic Church. And everything that goes along with that, and the leadership and the relationship between those two. All right, so this kind of review session is set up into just kind of like East and West to make it easy, okay? Here's my Memphis Cup. Go Tigers. We won on Thursday. Okay, so let's go first with the Byzantine Empire. So the Byzantine Empire, they're going to have a very strong central government. This strong central government is, and all of the characteristics that go along with a strong central government. So this strong central government, they're going to have a strong military because they have a very defined set of rules. They have a very strong ruler, ruling family, and they have tax collection and a very set, defined way of doing stuff. And because of this, this is what's going to allow them to be effective. Make sure that you know about the Kievan Rus. This is that area. The Kievan Rus was this very kind of loose federation, this very chilled, very relaxed kind of organization that was a group of areas and territories that were together, and they were of Eastern Slavic people. So their prince, whose name was Vladimir of Kiev, which is going to be present-day Russia area, okay? This guy, he really wanted to unify his people, and so in order to do that, he figured, he looked at and he decided that they would become they would go under the Eastern Orthodox Christianity, specifically the Byzantine Empire, because this was a doctrine that he chose because he felt that it was closest for him to be able to unify his people. You can find this information on page 433. Remember also that the Remember also that the Byzantine Empire, they're going to have a very significant impact on the Slavic-speaking people. Now, and this impact is going to be especially on the Balkans and Russia. Now, if I have just said Balkans and you have no clue as to what I'm saying, it is highly important that you stop this video right now and you go and Google that term. Remember, but I'm telling you, you're going to hear this term throughout, okay? The Balkans are throughout history, and I need you to make sure that you know about them. Go Google it. It's both a geographical term as well as a kind of culture term. It's the Slavic-speaking countries. You would have learned about the Slavic-speaking countries last year when we did the unit for AP Human on languages. Now, just to kind of give you an idea, this is that area that's going to be like Albania, Bulgaria, Croatia, Macedonia. So just make sure that you know the make sure that you know when I'm referring to the Balkans, what I'm referring to, because you're going to have every history teacher that refers to the Balkans, and you're going to need to know what that is. Okay, just a little bit more for the East. Okay, the Byzantine Emperor, he's going to claim to be God's representative on earth. I had a student in class this week that kind of attributed this to China's mandate of heaven, if you will, and that is correct. I mean, if you were looking at it as a comparison, then yes, this is going to be it. He's the one that is chosen to be the representative on earth, okay? Also, another term that you may have heard by now in your history academia is divine right. Okay, I'm here because God has put me here. Now, because of this, Eastern Europe is going to see, where we're going to see this kind of, it's going to be a different relationship than what we see in Western Europe. And in Eastern Europe, we're going to see where the state has this empirical control on the church. And like I said, it's not that way over in Western Europe. And in the state, I mean, not in the state, but in the Eastern Europe, we're going to see the epitome of this term called, and I'm probably going to mispronounce it, I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways, Caesaropapism or Caesaropapism. So look that up. You're going to need to know that. Okay, and know that the end of the Byzantine Empire, this happens in 1453 when the capital known as Constantinople is captured by the Ottoman Turks. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to the west side. Okay, now for the west, it has a little bit more information on the test. Know that the collapse of the Roman Empire happens in 476, and when this happens, long distance trade is going to start being limited, or is going to be limited, and it's specifically we're going to see that it's limited to Italy. Now, in the High Middle Ages, and for you guys that need a time frame for that, the High Middle Ages, we're going to refer to that as like the 1000 to 1300, okay? So we see evidence of European civilizations during the High Middle Ages that are going to be participating in long-distance trade. Also, that we see that leaders in Western Europe during this High Middle Ages time period, they're very susceptible to attacks that are happening from each other, from Islamic forces, troops. So they're what you would refer to as weak. Okay, it's going to be a very weak leadership, weak power at this point. Now, we see from 500 to 1300, it's going to be there's going to be this mutual beneficial relationship that's happening between politics and religion. And what the reason is because the rulers would protect the church, and then in return for protecting the church, they would get this leniency from the Pope. And so it worked out for worked out for both parties. I'm sorry for stuttering. And because of this, this will continue, and the leaders of the different countries in the Western Europe will continue to protect the Pope, and the Pope will continue up until we see Reformation, and the Pope continues to be lenient and allow things that he would not allow out of other people. Remember about the regarding European innovation, we talked about it in last chapter where China had invented gunpowder, and then in Western Europe we see that they take the gunpowder and they kind of add to it and improve it. And so what they do, we find, is that they have built cannons to be able to utilize the gunpowder to be very effective in war. Okay, make sure that you know about feudalism, and make sure specifically about serfdom. And you're going to find this on page 436 under the category Society and Church. Okay, next is Latin Christendom. And remember, Latin is in the West, Greek is in the East. Okay, so Latin Christendom, which is Western Europe, it's going to be very localized, okay? Think very decentralized, complete opposite than what we see in the Byzantine Empire, okay? All right. However, remember that, or know this, that Western Europe is going to use Greek thought, that Socratic thought, that empirical questioning, to explain religious doctrine. All right. are doing really good on time, actually. Okay, so the next thing, just a couple more things. The next thing I want to talk about is the Crusades. So for the Crusades, please know that Western Christendom, they would go. You're kidding me. I don't know what happened there. All right, so remember that Western Christendom, for the Crusades, they would take this oath to defend the church and the enemies against the enemies of the church. And they were given this indulgence in return, and this indulgence allows them to have a free pass. Whatever they've done, it doesn't matter because you're going to defend the church, so you're good. Now, they would go to take or reclaim holy lands. However, remember that all of their targets were not only Islamic targets. They also would go after Eastern Orthodox Church area, Eastern Orthodox Christians, because they had considered them heretics. And you can find this on page 444. And the last item, make sure that you know about women and the guilds in the Western Europe. Make sure you know about women and the guilds and how there was, it kind of defined new technologies and some new things kind of defined what was happening and what's going to happen to women. And you're going to find that on page 440. Specifically, some things that women had been doing, some roles that they had been doing, they're not going to be doing anymore. So please make sure you pay attention to Twitter. You might see some questions pop up on there. Please make sure that you study, read, get your Cornell notes done. Any questions, email me. Other than that, study, good luck. Enjoy your rest of your Saturday night and Sunday, and we will see you guys on my. Oh wait! Shout out to Second Period's Chelsea, and I'm supposed to say Shavakadu. Bye, y'all. Have a good weekend.